Big Boar BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing with Dan Diker and Billy Doc Niles. Today's program is brought to you by Big Boar BBQ on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar BBQ, now that's a mouthful. By Kerry Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Now here's Dan with this week's show.
Welcome, race fans. Big Boar BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyke along with Billy Doc Niles. We finally got a race in.
Got one in.
Crosse
Oh,
Speedway.
what a great weekend it was last weekend. Perfect weather for racing. An incredible field of late models and Sportsmen and Thunderstox. Bigger than what we're used to seeing, especially in the late models. First B main since Oktoberfest of 2010. So it was, what a great night. Perfect night for racing, too.
And the word was in the La Crosse Tribune earlier this week that 25 to 30 late models could show up, and you and I had known about possibly 24 to 25. Well, then we didn't figure in Tony Lease. We didn't figure in Ryan Brown, who we're going to talk about on the radio show this week. We kind of figured Nick Panitsky would be there. We finally kind of figured Jacob Gady would be there. Dan Trouch, we kind of figured was going to be there.
We figured Mike Eady would be there.
Yeah, Mike Eady. So those were the ones that we were kind of unsure of.
And there was the one we figured would be there and wasn't. Rob Christian, he's going to be out at least another week. So
yeah, he still has his motor at, or I think his whole car is still
his whole car his whole car is sitting down at KBR right now.
So, but 30 late models was outstanding. And the thing is we can expect that almost every week now because word has it that the two guys from Minnesota, possibly more, will be back more than once this year. Could be running an entire season. I'm not going to name drop because I don't want to get myself in trouble that way, but I've talked to two of them exclusively that loved what happened on Saturday night, and you're going to be hearing their names quite a bit more. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, well, if we're not, are we name dropping or not? But
not name dropping.
But one of them goes out and sets fast time, and it was pretty cool. And then the other one almost takes the feature from Steve Carlson, but Steve holds on to, get ahead of him. Then of course, Ty, which we'll see later, Ty eventually takes the lead. But what great racing by everybody Saturday night. Little mishap at the beginning of the feature, but
ouch, Carter Christensen, man, I was up there I actually swore a couple times too because I was so upset.
Yeah, luckily our microphones didn't pick that up.
The stage is set, 25 laps is set, 25 cars have already gone through qualifying, heats, B mains, and bam, big wreck to start things off at the beginning. I understand it was a lot of cosmetic on Carter's, though, so there's a good chance he'll be back.
Yeah, it looked like Don Turner's was a little cosmetic. From what I saw, obviously they didn't get the green flag. They didn't like the way the lineup was. Guys in the middle didn't exactly get slowed down fast enough, and that's where you had your mix-up from the middle back. And unfortunately, two cars didn't make it back out for the eventual green flag.
Well, as we normally do in segment number one, we recap the races from La Crosse Speedway last weekend. What we're going to do is we're going to show you something a little bit different today. We're going to share the first two laps of the late model feature, which was 25 cars and 25 laps, because in segment two, we're going to show you the last 8 minutes of that race. We're going to show you in segment two, Nick Panitsky beating Steve Carlson off of a restart, which nobody ever does. We're going to show you Ty maybe giving Nick Panitsky a little bit of a bump in turn 3 to get his way to second place.
Hello, I'm here.
And we'll show you how he ended up beating Steve Carlson, which is a very hard thing to do. So right now we're going to show you the first two laps of this fantastic late model feature. And look at this. We're going to talk about qualifying as well here in segment 3. We had at least 10 cars qualify under 20 seconds, and you can see them, Bill, look at this, all the way spotted through the field right there.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, when you turn a 19 point something, you expect to be in the fast dash. And, Cole Howland turns his fastest time he's ever turned, a 19.7, doesn't even make the fast dash. That's how tough this field was last Saturday.
Steve Carlson, a 19.779, ends up in the back of a heat race, which I can't remember the last time we saw that. So we just want to give you a little bit of tease here of what this fantastic late model field looked like. Of course, Don Thunder Turner and Carter Christensen and a few more. Dan Trouch got spun around there on that on the open of the race. They'll be back, and we're going to show you in segment 2 the last 8 minutes of that exciting feature. Sportsmen. We've talked a lot about the late models. Sportsman cars. Oh, and by the way, Tony Lease taking third place in that late model feature was outstanding. I think Lease may be someone to watch this year.
He hasn't been in a late model in, I'm guessing, somewhere around 5-6 years. and it looked like he'd been doing it, his whole life. What an amazing job! I mean, he had a shot at the lead at the beginning, fell back somewhere to about 6th, came back through and got, after that last yellow and ended up 3rd. Awesome job.
Well, the Dean Settlement and Security Sportsman, what an interesting one right here as Steve Bachman was edging his way into a 2nd place. We'll share the last 2 laps of this one here. Got spun around, made some hard contact with a lap car, went back in the pits. They had like 9 different colors of duct tape to hold that hood back on. Had to restart from the back and raced his way all the way to 3rd place behind Adam Oxborough, who was very surprisingly fast. He ended up 2nd. But Randy Humpfeld took quick time again, and what can you say about Randy Humpfeld? He's back in his old car, which was Nick Clements last year, which won the championship.
I have to eat my words. I thought it was going to take Randy a couple of weeks to knock the rust off, and he'd look like he hadn't missed a beat in the last few years. And, of course, we know the car is capable of it. He's won a track championship in it. Nick has won 2 track championships in it, so the car is very well capable. And he goes out and shows it again. A nice, smooth ride, takes his time getting to the front. Gone, race over.
Got to say kudos to Adam Oxborough, though. He's a relative unknown in this area, taking 2nd out of that big field of 18 cars. And Steve Bachman going to the back and coming back up front. Here is the last 2 of the Thunderstox race. This one got kind of interesting as well. You had a different driver. What was his name from Minnesota?
I don't remember his last name. You kept calling him Touche, so that's what I called him all night.
Teschney out of Minnesota ends up battling Adam Moore right almost to the very end of this one here. He's never run a Thunderstox at La Crosse. He runs at Elko, came down, and showed Adam what he had for a couple of moments, as you just saw right there. Adam Moore, just too hard to top.
Yeah, Adam Moore. 2 things impressed me. Number 1, Teschney, what a great job he did for never being on the track before. And number 2, I was sitting right about just past the flagman where they came off of turn 4. It just amazed me how Moore could come off of turn 4, cock the car a certain way and just get pointed straight and come like this close to the car next to him and not even touch. Impressive stuff by Moore. Car still looks like it just rolled off the showroom, so nice job last Saturday night.
Hornet feature was won by Mark Bornitz, who topped Cheyenne Stanfield, and Charles Vian Jr. Stanfield had the lead until that last lap, by the way. Glenn Bush Jr. defeated Jerry Ellsworth in the Outlaws. Coming up next, we're going to share the last 8 minutes. There's a lot of excitement right here with the La Crosse late models. It's Dan and Doc. This is TV 23.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too, just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar BBQ.
In downtown La Crosse, there's only one place where you can find award-winning barbecue. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer from Big Boar BBQ. The people from La Crosse have spoken and voted us the best barbecue and the best caterer in La Crosse County. Try it yourself and you'll agree. We've got the highest quality ribs, pulled pork, brisket, smoked chicken, and ham. Barbecue like nowhere else. Got a meeting or special event? We could cater it. Ask about our business delivery service. Big Boar BBQ on 3rd Street downtown and Highway 16 West Salem.
Yeah!
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Save up to $1,000 on select American Standard home comfort systems. Call Kerry Heating today or visit AmericanStandardAir.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Welcome back, race fans. Big Boar BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing and KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dykert along with Billy Doc Niles. I also want to thank Kerry Heating and Air Conditioning and Pizza Hut of La Crosse, Winona, for sponsoring the show. 86 degrees several times last week. I bet a bunch of people are about to call Kerry Heating and Air Conditioning.
I bet they are. Now is the time. If you haven't had your air conditioner checked on yet, get it checked up, because granted, it's only going to be warm for a couple of days this week, but the warm season is coming.
So while you get your AC installed and it's nice and cool in your house this year, go get lunch at Big Boar BBQ, take it home, then take a nap in the afternoon, get up, jog for a little bit, and then go back to Pizza Hut, or you'd say have them delivered while you're in the comfort of the Kerry Heating and Air Conditioning. Exciting and late model race at La Crosse. 30 of them showed up. 25 made the feature. Here's the last 8 minutes of that feature. And Billy, we're going to see some excitement.
Steve Carlson's up front. He is going to go to the inside, and Majeski will stay right behind him. Panitsky goes outside. Lease goes inside. Clements outside. Powell goes inside. Jankowski goes outside. Gady to the outside. Holland and Carlson inside. Henderson outside. Wagner inside. Degenhardt inside. Edie comes to the outside. So there you go, folks. Let's get a look at them now as they come by the flag stand. Here's the one to go. Carlson and Panitsky out front. Majeski right behind Steve Carlson in row 2. And now Clements has moved up, and he finds himself in row 2 in the number 4 spot, essentially. Down the backstretch they come. And already, I didn't even see it, down in turn 2, or 3 and 4. It's like Eckelberg and Trouch getting into it. So the yellow comes back out. Still 12 laps. Lots of time left in this race. We're only about halfway through. So drivers will keep their cars warmed up. Going by us now. There, they got Eckelberg fired. The safety crew should pull out of the way. Like Dan Trouch has pulled off. I don't see him out. The 54 car is not out there now. Started out with 24, we're down to 20 now. But the battle between these top 4, front 4 cars should be very interesting. 12 laps to go. Steve Carlson out front in the pole position. Panitsky right next to him. Will try to jump Carlson as they go to the green flag. But Majeski intends to follow right behind him. Next to him, Nick Clements. Pace truck leads him down the front stretch. And the drivers get the one to go. One more time around and we fired up. 12 laps. Pace truck has turned off the lights. Pulling off the track. Here come the cars, 2 by 2 into turn 3. You can hear the power coming on. Let's go to Dan Diker now for the call of the green.
Almost 3 wide. And Panitsky gets the jump on Carlson. Something we hardly ever see, Billy.
Yeah, Carlson ain't letting it go. He's staying right with him. What a great battle we got for the lead right now.
Majeski 3rd, Lees 4th, Jankowski 5th. Majeski to the inside, Carlson to the inside. Oh, the activity up front with those 3 cars sizing each other up.
these guys are putting on.
Majeski with the bump and run. Panitsky back to third, now fourth. It's Tony Lease. In the podium finish style. Oh, Jankowski to the back end of Panitsky. 8 to go. Well, I tell you what, Billy Doc, they call them Saturday night car fights, and we've got what's going on here.
Definitely got the car fights going on here. A lot of bumping and banging going on in that top 10. It's fun to watch, especially what's going on up front here.
Jankowski bobbles, gets in the reading of the turn four. I tell you, Jankowski's car awfully loose as Todd Oliver's coming off the racetrack. Reedy takes a spot. He's in the top 5. It's Carlson and Majeski. And the Roush Racing driver from Seymour, Wisconsin has the lead with 6 to go.
We heard earlier in the week this was going to be his only appearance at the cross before Oktoberfest. He's making the best of it.
The hand shows 5. 5 laps remaining for Majeski, Carlson, Lease. Panitsky and Reedy, your top 5. Well, I tell you, Jacob Gady, after having one heck of a qualifying lap, has struggled here tonight.
Yeah, he had trouble making it through traffic at the beginning of the race, and the inversion didn't help him out very much either. Just didn't seem to hang in that outside groove.
All right, we are down to 3.5 laps remaining for Ty Majeski on a limited schedule here with Lacrosse this year. Past the lap cars they go. Majeski again leads out of the corner. We're going to have 2 remaining. Then it's Carlson. Lease, what a great showing he's had here tonight. Panitsky 4th. Jankowski now in the top 5. White flag flies, 1 to go.
You know, Dan, you got to be impressed with the run with Tony Lease. A lot of times since he's been in the late model, doing a heck of a job keeping it in the top 3.
Majeski can now back it down into cruise control. The Roush Racing driver from Seymour, Wisconsin, back again. He's your late model winner. Followed by Carlson, Lease, Panitsky, and Jankowski. Well, again, we said it. Nick Panitsky took Steve Carlson off a restart, which that is so hard to do because especially if Carlson's on the outside. Did it look like Majeski gave Panitsky a little bit of a bump right there to get him out of the way?
Just one of those little hi, I'm here and I'm coming through type moves. It wasn't, we saw that a couple of times in that race Saturday night, so it's not like it's something that's uncommon. But Panitsky, what a great job he did. He was this close to getting past Carlson and running away with it. Instead, Carlson gets back under him. Great job by Tony Lease finishing 3rd. What an awesome race he ran. And, of course, we talked about this during the race. Kudos to Jonathan Eckelberg and Dan Troush. When it's not your night, get out of the way and let the fast guys race, and that's exactly what they did.
Jacob Gady set fast time, by the way, with a 19.565, real close to the track record for a guy that doesn't even run lacrosse. He ends up finishing in the top 10, and for Nick Clements, rookie this year, he finishes in the 11th position. When we come back, Bill and I are going to talk a little bit more about what we saw Saturday night and what we could expect coming up for the rest of the year with lacrosse right here on Seven Rivers Racing.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue. Or you don't have to drive down to Des Moines to get great pulled pork too. If you want ribs, the best in town, pulled pork or chicken too, just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar BBQ.
The
people have spoken. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer from Big Boar BBQ. Recently voted the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County by popular vote. And no, this wasn't a rigged election. Try it yourself. Taste our delicious, tender, fall-off-the-bone ribs, pulled pork, brisket, smoked ham, or chicken. And you'll agree this is the best barbecue. You'll find us on 3rd Street downtown and on Highway 16 in West Salem. But our catering truck can come right to your door for any special occasion. Big Boar BBQ. Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Save up to $1,000 on select American Standard home comfort systems. Call Kerry Heating today or visit AmericanStandardAir.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Don't get up, get online and get a large 2-topping pizza for just $7.99. It's the best pizza delivery deal at your La Crosse and Winona Pizza Hut. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Big Boar BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing KQEG TV. I'm the voice, Dan Dyke, along with Billy Doc Niles. Before we break down a little bit more lacrosse stuff, I did want to give some other results from last weekend. Give some credit where credit's due. The Tundra Series had their first race of the season at WIR. Steve Apel showed it's not over till the checkered flag falls. He ended up defeating Dalton Zier, and they were racing almost side by side for the last 4 laps of that 50-lapper. And Apel's first Tundra win, his second Super Late Model victory to kick off 2017. Zier broke the WIR track record, 19.018.
They're getting faster at that track. I can remember years ago when everybody thought 19.5 was a phenomenal speed. Now they're at 19.0. It's incredible.
Dave True becomes 3 for 3 in the year at WIR. He took 2 20-lap Sportsman features, which is something tough because they had a pretty good field of cars, pretty stout field of cars. Next up for Tundra, La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, Friday night, June 30th. The Midwest Truck Series was also at WIR last weekend. Veteran driver James Swan picked up his first Truck Series win. He kept the hard-charging Nick Egan in his rearview mirror, and he ended up defeating 19 other trucks. Series will have a few weeks off there, and next at Golden Sands in Plover Memorial Day for the Dick Trickle Memorial 50, which I will be at. Top 5 of the points, James Swan, Kevin Kinesi, Mike Corville, Kelly Byers, and Tommy Picaro. You know, we were talking about qualifying at La Crosse Speedway last weekend. Now, the normal race fan knows if you're in a late model, you have 4 new tires on, expect to see sometimes dropping under the 20-second mark. People say, why do you make such a big deal about that? It's hard to get in the 19s, especially the 19.5s at the La Crosse Speedway when you have 4 new tires on or 2 or 3 new tires on. It doesn't really matter.
And let's face it, we're not running super late models here. These are limited late models.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We had 12 drivers all under 19.998. 12th fastest went to Jeremy Wagner. Jacob Gady, Tom Majeski, Mike Carlson, Brad Powell, Nick Panitsky. Corey Jankowski, who ended up with a top 10 finish at La Crosse. Steve Carlson, Cole Howland, Tony Lees, Ty Reedy, Nick Clements, and Jeremy Wagner. Phenomenal to see that many names drop under a 20-second mark on night number 1.
You know, last year when when we brought the crate motors back out, it was awesome to see Ty go out there and turn. And I think he just got under 19.4 to 19.3 something. And to see a 19.5 on opening night, we've only seen it a couple of times, last year. And then I think 3 years ago, Powell and Paff both got under 19.5.
But you're mentioning names that are used to the La Crosse Speedway.
Yes.
Jacob Gady did it, and he only runs Oktoberfest.
Jacob Gady is used to a super late model. 19.5 is a slow crawl to him compared to a super late model. So I thought it was an excellent job by Jacob to go out and get the fast time. So, laid a really good one down at a 19.5 and beat Ty in the process because you don't see too many people beating Ty when it comes to qualifying.
So late models this year, Ty told us last weekend he may be back 2, 3, maybe even 4 more times. He doesn't know when because his schedule is so tight this year. Steve Carlson takes second place. I think that's his 14th second runner-up finish in 2 years. Besides Steve Carlson, who else are we looking at this year because Nick Clements showed he was fast. Tony Lease, what an amazing job he did. Devin Schmidt, once he gets things figured out. I mean, you got Steve Carlson here. Who challenges him?
Well, you talk about Mike.
With Degenhart and Powell, of course.
Degenhart, yeah, that's one name. Two names we haven't brought up through the whole show is Degenhart and Powell. By the way, it was Powell's birthday in that race that we just saw. So happy birthday, Brad. Degenhart and Powell are definitely sleepers. They didn't have the best of nights last Saturday night. Obviously Lease looks like a contender right out the bat, just the way he ran. Mikey got caught up in traffic. He's definitely going to be a contender. We're only 1 weekend. There's we got 14 weeks to go yet.
Yeah.
We got 3 double feature nights to go yet. Lots of things can happen. Somebody could cut a tire. We saw it last year. Ty Majeski probably was costed the national championship because of an accident.
He had a flat tire in the back straightaway.
That was the difference between third place in the nation and first place. So anything can happen in the blink of an eye. It's a long season. We're only 1 week in.
Sportsman Randy Humfeld takes claim to fame right off the bat. Quick time qualifier. Andy wins his first feature. Steve Bachman crawls from the back after a bad wreck, finishes third. Adam Oxborough shows how awfully strong he is, not even running a full season at La Crosse Speedway. This thing is wide open as well, but man, how would you like to be Steve Bachman having to chase, not Randy Humfeld, but that car for the 3rd year in a row?
Yeah, not shocking. Well, actually, 4th year in a row, because Humfeld wasn't it the year before that?
Right, yep.
So, not shocking that car was up front. You mentioned Bachman and Humfeld as pretty much the favorites. Oxborough had a great night Saturday night. Don't count, the 2 guys that had problems the other night, Thompson.
Yep, Jeff Thompson.
He
won the 6 for 6 dash.
Thompson and Worthen both look mighty fast, so they could be contenders too.
Well, Worthen had the lead for a minute, and I really didn't get to talk to him too much this week. Something just failed. He just said the car just shut down.
He just pulled off the track. Thompson looked really quick at the beginning, got caught up in that accident. That's too bad, but like we said, this is only the first week, long season.
Hornets, Cheyenne Stanfield almost wins her first race in an old Kelly Byers Hornet car. She admitted she didn't know how to deal with lap traffic, and that cost the race. Mark Bornitz obviously knows how to deal with lap traffic. Cheyenne Stanfield could get some serious wins this year.
She, the one thing I noticed Saturday night, if she could get into the corners better, she's going to be really, really tough to beat. That's where they were catching her, was going into the corners. So, like we said, again, long season. She's got chances to improve.
Caleb Hardy, Jason Bolster, 2nd and 3rd behind Adam Moore. Kyle Lockington, who's been a hot shoe the past couple of years, ended up crashing into the wall. Can anybody stop Adam Moore?
Probably not. Maybe Bolster, maybe Hardy, but man, it's going to be tough to do. He's on a rail already.
No, we're hoping to get some more outlaws there as well, because I love announcing whatever you want to bring, you can bring. I mean, I remember when we first went from Rays to Outlaws, we're looking at 10 to 15 tough trucks, the whole shebang. Ken Lewis had a Camaro out there at one point with the mud tires on it. Would love to see that class open up. What do we got this weekend, La Crosse Speedway?
Late model Sportsmen, Thunderstox. You also got the Street Stocks making their first appearance. Outlaws are back again. Kids boxcar races. So if you're watching this on Sunday night, hopefully we got to race last night and you're about to watch it right now.
Alrighty, again, I want to thank all of our sponsors for the program. I want to thank Billy Doc Niles for joining us again. My producer behind the camera, his name is Jesse. I am the voice, Dan Dyker. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on Big Boar BBQ presents 7 Rivers Racing.
You've been watching the Big Boar BBQ presentation of 7 Rivers Racing on KQEG TV. 7 Rivers Racing is brought to you by Big Boar BBQ on Highway 16 West Salem and downtown La Crosse. Big Boar BBQ, now that's a mouthful. By Kerry Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists on La Crosse's north side. By Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Pizza Hut. Join us next week at this same time for Doc and Dan and 7 Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.